What's going on, guys? In today's Whiteboard Wednesday video, I wanted to go over raising prices. Raising prices is something I did not do my first few years in. Obviously, I started out in high school and then continued with it after that. But I didn't know any better. Pretty much what I did was I would get so busy, then I would start upping my prices, which is what you can do. But I had no idea what I was doing at first. So, raising your prices. You have to raise your prices every year to keep up with your costs, your labor, and living expenses. Everything goes up. You have to raise your prices every year. Your mulch will go up, your stone, everything from the hardscaping job, it all trickles down. The biggest learning experience we had was COVID and, when inflation hit. That was really, when gas was almost $5 a gallon down here, that was a bad year for us. Not a bad year as in a total loss, but it was not a profitable year when gas hit. It was kind of in survival mode, but and then we figured it out, obviously, and that was only 5 years ago, but still, something like that's never happened. A lot of these guys that have been in this business forever have gone through, these different types of, like everything in the 90s and, the crash when they stopped building and the homes. Guys went through that. They've been through it all. But for us, at least, that was the first year, COVID and inflation, when things really, you had to really sit down and look at your numbers, with that year with gas so high. Obviously I kept all my people with their regular increase, which was almost nothing, but everything new that came in, I had to up big time. That's a big thing. And when inflation hit that hard, I didn't get any kickback. Everyone understood. I was out there cutting the lawns with my guys. I'm not sitting around driving in a $100,000 truck watching them work. All of our clients are great people, and they all understood. So besides that, that's where I learned. But raising your prices every year, everything trickles down to the bottom of the barrel, where your mulch is going to go up because the guy that's making the mulch has to raise his price, and then the delivery guy has to raise his price, and everything goes up. So every year there's that little increase, and it all adds up. So you need to raise your prices to keep up with not getting too far behind. If you do a $200 leaf cleanup and don't raise your prices for 5 years, and then you're so busy, now you have 3 employees, you're running 7 days a week, maybe you don't know your numbers too well. Well, 3 guys doing a $200 leaf cleanup, you're going to lose money big time. Unless that $200 leaf cleanup takes 10 minutes. So that's the thing there. If you can get too far behind on not raising your prices. There's guys and even kids that I've talked to where they didn't raise their prices for so long, they're still cutting lawns for $30. They have a helper or two, and they realize, wow, I need to be at like $45, $50 a cut, and they'll try to jump that lawn like $20, for the next year. And 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to do that. That's too much of an increase. Even someone that works for a living may want to rethink that. But that's the big thing there. You want to raise your prices just to keep up with everything. The economy, inflation, your costs all around you are going to go up, and your living expenses. And I'm not even going to get into that. Just everything you need to survive is going to go up. But there's a few things that go into that too, is like growing. When your prices go up, your rates are going to go up. So pretty much where we're at, like our schedule is full. So 9 times out of 10, if I get someone that calls and says, oh, I'm shopping around for a quote, I'll stop them there and say, listen, we're not going to be the cheapest company. I don't want to waste your time or my time. Can you tell me other estimates you've gotten? We're at a point now where people call us based off of our website, our reviews, and also recommendations, word of mouth. That's where we're at big time right now. And most people are like, wow, you do a good job. I don't have to worry about anything. Send me the bill. You will get there at some point, and that's where we started to get a few years ago, which is a really good feeling, But when it comes to that, you're going to get more no's than yeses, when you start raising your prices due to things, because there's always people that are going to be cheaper, and they're going to do things like a bunch of dummies on weekends, Like if you're going to do 10 quotes right now, if you get, say, 7 or 8 of them, you're too cheap. You're way too cheap. If you get more yeses than nos, you're too cheap right off the bat. Unless you're that premium company and everyone's just giving you blank checks to fill out, because there is a few of those. So that's the biggest thing with that. And like I said, that's where the growing comes in. So, you need to raise your prices to grow also. So, but the last thing I have too is just to not be afraid to raise your prices. Some people are like, oh, $1 here, $2 there, $3 for the grass. Listen, you gotta, 9 times out of 10, people understand when they see gas going up, when they have to work overtime at their job. And if they don't understand, you don't want those people. You don't want them. Just replace them. So you don't want headaches on top of working in 100-degree heat, worrying about your prices, keeping your guys paid, your family fed. So you can't be afraid. You're going to lose people. We've had ones for years, forever, that I've raised a couple dollars here and there because they were larger properties. And, a couple of them have tried to call back, and, I do take the spiteful curve, and I won't pick them back up. I'm loyal by doing my work, having my guys show up and doing a great job. And if you can't take that increase here and there, and again, we're out there working. I'm not sitting there in my Platinum F250 Lariat watching them work while I raise prices like a madman. But 99% of my customers, actually 100% understand, especially after inflation. And like I said, if you haven't been through inflation, it was a good learning curve, very good learning curve, especially, and COVID. But if you were, then you understand why you have to raise your prices. So again, guys, I can't really, I'm not giving you the straight logic here, just because I'm not, I'm going based off what has worked for me. So I try to water that down as best as I can. So like I said, that's for us, raising prices. You keep up with the costs around you. You keep up with your living expenses and everything. It comes from the maintenance on your mowers to the parts, the oil, the blades. Everything goes up just a little bit each year. So you have to raise your prices a little bit each year to either keep up with that or get ahead of it. So like I said, that's a big thing that happened with us too. It's just you could see things getting expensive around you. Like I said, when gas was almost $5 a gallon, we didn't get $5 a gallon. I know some people did get $5 a gallon, which is insane. And we run all gas trucks. But when it was there, my customers understood, and like I said, 99% of them have been with us for a long time, and they were great. They're all great people. But you need to keep up with everything around you. You're not raising your prices just because. You're raising your prices because of everything around you. Your living, your guys, they need to live. You need to give them raises. It's a never-ending cycle, and every year you have to raise your prices. Again, to grow, to keep up with everything. And don't be afraid to do it. You have to do it. You're going to be worried that this lawn might drop you because of a $2 increase, and they're a good customer. If you do that great of work and they are that good of a customer, they won't drop you. And if they do, guess what? It is what it is. Find someone better. So that's about it, guys. Again, there's no mathematical logic here on my end. It's just you got to raise your prices to keep up with everything around you, where it comes to your business and when it comes to living. You have to. So when your supplier raises his rates, or you notice blades are a little more expensive, or oil, whether your gas bill or electric bill went up, you got to realize, raise it up. And this is the biggest thing that has stuck with me for years, and I'm going to say it now, is if McDonald's can raise their prices, you can raise your prices. Promise you that. So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, comment below. Like I said, it's really basic. A lot of this stuff will just hit you in the face, if you don't raise your prices, like I didn't way back when first starting out. So if you don't really do it now, please start to do it. If not, it's going to smack you real hard in the face, when you have guys running, or when you're stretched thin and you realize you got to put them up. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.